everybody, and welcome back to another review of the DCEU movies. I don't even think that's the official name. I don't even think there was ever an official name for these movies, but that's what everybody calls it, the DC Extended Universe. But anyway, here I am going to be talking about the second movie in the series, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. So, Batman v Superman, Dawn of a Really Long Name premiered on March, I think, 25th of 2016. Directed again by Zack Snyder. Stars Ben Affleck as Batman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, Henry Cavill as Superman, and a lot of other people. And there's a lot of stuff that happens in this movie on top of the amount of characters in it. And I always write stuff down, as I'm watching the movie. So when I do these reviews, I can talk about it, but there's so much stuff that happens here, I'm probably not going to be able to get to everything. In fact, most of the time I don't even, really talk about everything that I, write down, but I'll try to cover as much as I can. The opening for this movie is really, really good. Again, we see Batman's parents dying, but, it looks good, so I don't really care. We also get to see, after that, seeing, Batman's dream of his parents dying and him getting lifted up by the bats, and boom, we get to see Bruce's point of view of what happens at the end of Man of Steel. And this scene is here to, set up the whole why Batman hates Superman conflict, but there's some dumb things that sort of, I guess are happen to force this conflict to make sense. First of all, why did Batman have to, call the people to evacuate the building? I mean, I don't really know. I don't think they were waiting there for him to say anything. I think he was just calling because he knew that they didn't evacuate. But I don't understand why nobody just left the building already. You don't need to wait for Bruce Wayne's permission. And even if, that wasn't the reason why, they were just in awe of what's happening around them. Who in their right mind would stay around for that? Like, just get out of there. Go to Gotham. It's literally like 2 feet away from Metropolis in this movie. Then you see Bruce, watching Superman and Zod causing a lot of destruction. And, it's true. They did blow up and kill so many people in Man of Steel that it makes sense. But then at the end of the day, you would have figured that, I know this is an older, jaded Batman, but you figured we would have, gotten this, would have seen him try and, think rationally and try to, actually, meet the guy, meet Superman first, rather than just, why don't I spend the whole movie trying to find kryptonite so I can kill him? And I know, again, it's an older, jaded Batman. I wish we could have actually, seen why he's that way. Maybe instead of just having Bruce's parents dying again. I know it's important for the Martha scene, which I'll talk about later, but maybe seeing why he is the way he is now, as opposed to how he was before as a regular Batman. Because that is the point. He is different in this movie. That's why he kills people, and usually, I'd be mad about that. Why is Batman just killing people like he does in the 89 movie? And I think he blows up the whole place of ninjas in Batman Begins. But anyway, that was just supposed to be Batman. But this is a Batman who is supposed to be different. So him killing people isn't inherently bad in this case, but I'll talk about why I don't like it in a little bit. Then we're in the desert, and Lois Lane is investigating terrorists. We see Jimmy Olsen, who gets shot in the head 2 seconds later. Oh yeah, I am watching the Ultimate Edition, because it's a lot better than the original. It just adds more stuff that I think, just makes the movie more whole. Just makes it a better final product overall. And Jimmy Olsen gets killed because apparently he's a CIA agent. Why even have him be called Jimmy Olsen? I don't know. I just think it's hey fans, look, it's Jimmy. Oh, he's dead. He's also part of the CIA. And probably isn't even his real name, so I don't know. It's not a big deal. I don't know why I'm talking about it so much. It's just something that's it's kind of weird that they call him Jimmy and then just boom, boom, kill him. So KG Beast is burning all the people, and then the world thinks that Superman killed those terrorists. Even though, shouldn't they be filled with bullets? Maybe the bullets melted along with the bodies, but I'm pretty sure that has a higher melting point. I don't know. I don't know how it works, but, I don't know why Superman would burn all those people alive. Well, actually, I'm saying that, but, I'm glad the movie that it, tries to take a real-world approach with it of addressing how would the world react to Superman. So maybe they would think that he killed all those people there. But in reality, they were all working for Lex Luthor, who's played by Jesse Eisenberg. I hate Lex Luthor in this movie. I really wish that when I rewatch this movie that I would like Lex Luthor. I'd find something that I liked about him. When I first watched this movie, I actually really enjoyed it. I saw it in theaters. I saw it a few times since then, not many times, and over time I just kind of didn't like the movie that much. But having rewatched it, my thoughts have changed, which is why I'm, doing this review. I'll tell you my thoughts as I'm currently doing. But I was really hoping that maybe I'd find something about Lex Luthor that I didn't appreciate before. No, he's just terrible. You have Zod in the first movie. He's actually really good, and then you just have this super hyper eccentric, guy. He's just with his stupid sayings and his weird phrases and just the weird violin music. I could not care less if it's accurate to the Superman Birthright comic. I don't care. It's not good in this movie. I'm not reading the book. I don't even remember what happens in that book, but maybe he's annoying there too. It doesn't matter if it's like the comic. It's still stupid. So Wonder Woman's in this movie. She just kind of walks around when Batman needs to do some investigating. I don't even know why she's in this movie. Actually, it's just to set up Justice League, but you could have taken her out and it would have nothing would have changed. Except the final fight, which I'll talk about later, and how that should have been. But yeah, they also set up the future Justice League members. They do this in the nightmare scene, and the Justice League file, all the files of the metahumans and stuff. And I understand why it's here. It was part of Zack Snyder's plan for what Justice League was supposed to be. I have not yet seen the theatrical version of Justice League, and I think it's safe to assume that it is not continued in the way that Zack Snyder set it up in this movie. So, in retrospect, it's kind of ruined, but, the scenes just kind of don't really add a whole lot. The nightmare scene makes more sense a little bit, because, it's supposed to be a dream of, at first it seems like a dream that Batman's having of Superman becoming evil and taking over the world, which makes sense because, that's what he thinks is going to happen. But then you have the Flash saying, "Am I too soon?" or "Lois is the key." And just okay, how does this have to do with this movie? Again, I don't know if it's addressed in the regular Justice League movie because I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to watch it for the review, obviously, but in the context of the movie, it's just weird and out of place, and just there's already so much happening that they probably could have taken this out, or just leave the whole. I don't know, because they had to set it up for Justice League, but I just feel like it doesn't really. It should have been toned down a little bit. A lot of people complain because Superman is depressed in this movie. Well, it kind of makes sense because the whole world doesn't like him, and he's gotten a lot of people killed, and he's trying to, do the right thing as a reporter at the Daily Planet as Clark Kent, but even that's not working, and just Lex Luthor is manipulating both sides, and just it makes sense why he's not, happy-go-lucky Superman. Not even Superman's really happy-go-lucky to begin with, all cheery and stuff, but he's especially sadder in this movie, and it's pretty noticeable, but it makes sense. Let's just talk about Lex's plan here. So Lex wants to manipulate Superman to fight Batman to the death. He also wants Batman to steal the kryptonite to try and kill Superman, I think that was the goal, because then why have the kryptonite if you want Superman to kill Batman and then use the kryptonite again? I don't know. Anyway, so he wants Batman and Superman to try and kill each other. I don't know why he wants Batman involved with this. It doesn't even seem like he cares about Batman at all. It seems mostly the hatred is against Superman. And then he creates Doomsday, I guess, as a contingency, in case, because if Superman kills Batman, then he's not all good. But, you know, if he's all powerful, then he can fight Doomsday. I don't know, it's just Lex with his stupid sayings that kind of, you know, trip me up, but I'm assuming he creates Doomsday as like this contingency to kill Superman. But then what if Superman, you know, does what you want? Then are you still gonna unleash Doomsday? What if Batman killed Superman? Are you gonna unleash Doomsday? It's gonna kill everybody. I don't know why Lex didn't just like make a kryptonite gun or something, because he's always talking about that silver bullet in the beginning. And then, like, lure Lois, you know, like he did earlier. When he threw Lois off the building to bring Superman over. Why not just have, like, a lead gun, well, because, you know, whatever, comic books, in your pocket with a kryptonite bullet. And just be like, hey, Superman, boom, dead. So why have Batman and... I don't know. It's a little convoluted. It's just, I don't like Lex at all in this movie. He's just so obnoxious. Doomsday is in this movie. I think it was a waste for... Okay, so since then, Zack Snyder has said that it's not the actual Doomsday, yada yada yada. Well, I don't believe that. I'm pretty sure this was supposed to be Doomsday and then people complained and then, you know, he's like, well, actually, it was never Doomsday. For the purposes of this movie, it's Doomsday. That's who he is. You know, and it's way too early to bring him into the whole thing because, you know, you just had Superman, right? By the end of Man of Steel, that is when he becomes Superman. By the end of this movie, Superman is dead. And it's only supposed to be like a year or 2 years after. It's like way too early to kill Superman, first of all. I guess it makes sense because, you know, the world hates him and he gave his life for the world. I think they should have made Metallo the main villain. Well, not the main villain, but like the villain at the end. You know, the guy with the wheelchair. Make that guy Metallo like they were going to. Because then you can really see the consequences of everything. You can see how, like, Superman's actions have led to the creation of this guy and the hatred. And then Batman can team up against him, you know, actually have a threat that they can both face. Because Batman doesn't even do anything against Doomsday. It's just Wonder Woman and Superman. So you don't even have that team-up element. You know, I just think it would have been better than just him punching a gray monster at the end. You know, big gray villain. Like in a lot of superhero movies, got the big gray villain. And then he dies. And it's just like, it just feels a little too early. Maybe if, you know, Zack Snyder's plan, whatever, his vision. Because I'm not the biggest fan of these two movies, but if we saw his entire story laid out, maybe it would have been better. But I just think it was way too early to kill Superman. Kind of backtracking a little bit, let's go to the part when Batman is going to kill Superman with the kryptonite spear. And he doesn't because Superman says, save Martha. Now, my problem is not the fact that Superman and Batman, their moms have the same name. That is not the problem with this scene. You know, that just shows to Batman that Superman is just as human as everyone else. That's not my problem because I perfectly understand that. And it makes sense. My problem with the scene is that this is the culmination of Batman going too far. Throughout the movie, we constantly see Alfred telling Bruce that, you know, you're turning cruel, you're going too far, you're doing this, you're doing that. And this is going to be the time when Batman breaks his rule and he kills someone, you know? The one thing that he's against. And he's eventually basically going to become, you know, like the guy who killed his parents. The problem with this is that he's been killing people throughout the movie. And there's no, like, cop-out, like, oh, you know, he shot the tire so it blew up when it hit the wall. It's like, yeah, well, he still shot the tires. And not even that. He literally just shot the cars. He ran through them, blew up people. At first I was thinking, okay, the whole branding people thing and then them dying in prison was him basically killing people, but that was all orchestrated by Lex anyway. The whole, you know, literally just that scene of him just mowing down everybody, killing them. And then it gets worse because after Batman realizes how far he's gone, in the warehouse scene, which is really good, by the way, he's still killing people. So it's like, well, what have you learned? You've learned that Superman is not a bad guy, which you would have learned had you talked to him, you know, because you are the world's greatest detective, after all. Simple conversation would have stopped most of this movie from happening, but, you know, that wouldn't have really made good for a movie. I think this movie could also be fixed by a simple title change. Instead of just calling it Batman v Superman, why not just call it Superman Batman, have equal screen time, have them work together, have them fight, just have it be like a team-up movie, essentially, instead of just they're gonna argue for like the entire movie, fight for 8 minutes, team up, and then Superman's dead at the end. Alright, so I've rambled. What do I like? Music is actually better than Man of Steel, I'd say. It's really, really good. Cinematography and effects and all that. Just how the movie looks. Also better than Man of Steel. The movie looks and sounds really, really good. It keeps that whole like action spectacle stuff that Man of Steel had and just makes it even better this time. You know, it does look good. It does sound good. The acting isn't bad, you know. So all of that is really, really good, actually. I mean, the warehouse scene, even though I complained about, you know, Batman having not learned his lesson. See, that's the thing. It's like the whole, like, Batman being jaded and killing people isn't, like, inherently bad. It's just the, you know, him struggling to kill Superman and then him continuing to kill after he spared Superman is the problem with that. And even though, you know, I have a problem with that, like, for example, the warehouse scene does look really good. So what am I going to give this movie? My score, I've talked about it enough. I'm going to give it my score of okay. I honestly watched it, and, you know, I have a lot of problems with it, but I think overall it's not bad. It isn't as bad as people say. For Man of Steel, I gave it like a really high okay, like it was just about to be good. For Batman v Superman, I'm going to give it a very low okay, like it's about to be meh. But it's, you know, it's still got some stuff in there, still got some parts. It's like Man of Steel, where parts of it are really, really good, but as a whole, there's a lot of things that I don't like. So, yeah, that does it for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. You know, maybe you have your own opinions on the movie, because that's what this is. You know, I'm not saying this is how you should feel about this movie. This is just me rambling about how I feel about a movie I just watched, like, you know, like a day or two ago. But that's gonna do it. So thank you all for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Goodbye.